So, if I say the names Paul Thorpe, Richard Ingram, Danny Salmon, for quite a lot of you, you will know who these people are. Some won't. Now, these three guys have been instrumental in the marches to support Tommy Robinson and the United Kingdom and freedom marches and all those ones that were recently in London. And they've been advocates of uniting the kingdom. They are the people who were behind the pledge. And they've been very vocal and very successful at being vocal, especially Paul Thorpe. Now, just recently, and the links will be down below for the videos, Paul Thorpe first did a video saying he owes his followers a explanation. Then he's done a video with Danny Salmon. Both Danny's done his own video as well, and Richard Ingram's done their videos. So I'm going to try and get the three main videos where they all link in together so you can go and watch their videos, especially the one where Paul Thorpe is talking to Danny Salmon, because Paul and Danny have said that they are stepping away from talking about politics. They are distancing themselves. And I'll go into the reason why in a bit. Richard has said he's not coming to do many protests here in the United Kingdom, but that's because of different reasons, mainly because it's monetarily wise. Now, we'll go into a little bit of a background. Now, Paul Thorpe was originally, he's had a YouTube channel. He was talking about watches. He was a watch dealer. And then about 13 months ago, kind of similar in some respects to me, where I started off talking about sci-fi and Doctor Who and that. And then his channel, and similar to my channel, although don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing myself to Paul Thorpe, because Paul is a legend and he's got way more subscribers and things. But it was the pivot. He pivoted to politics. I've pivoted to politics. A lot of channels have pivoted towards politics because at the moment it's one of the most overriding thing, especially in the United Kingdom, especially with the current dictatorship that is in charge. Danny Salmon actually he's just started a YouTube channel, but that's more about him and living in Spain. But all he's ever done is appear on live streams with Paul Thorpe. He's been at marches, and that's it. And then Richard Ingram's got his channel, and he's been doing his thing for a while now as well. So, Paul Thorpe especially, because of his subscriber count, because one of these things is, as you become more and more, as you get more and more subscribers, people are more likely to interact with you. You will get people like politicians and other people wanting to come onto your channel to talk. You can invite, and quite a few will accept it, and it's always based on your reach. So the bigger you get, the more you get noticed, and that's not a bad thing. And you know, it can be sometimes surprising that you are in that situation as you get bigger. I mean, at the moment for me, I'm hovering now at 8,300, and that seems to be the limit that I'm going to get to at the moment. And even that, I'm still blown away that many people follow me. And it's surprising. But what you have to understand is as you begin to gain notoriety, I wouldn't even say, influence, people start coming for you, and people start to notice you, sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. The more successful you become, the more haters you get. It is what it is. So any case, now we've just covered, or I've just covered, many people have covered the Royal Marine who spoke out and is being harangued and harassed by the powers that be. And Paul Thorpe, if you go on his channel, has had several times where he's gone to Spain, because people say he runs over there, but his daughter lives there, so he goes to visit, and you know, why not? He's 64, he's got money if he wants to go there. And what he does going to Spain and back to has got nothing to do with anybody else. It just isn't. When anyone goes on holiday and do what they do in their life, really isn't your bother. And if it is, you need to get out more. So recently, when he's been coming back, he's had a problem with passport control, and he's been put in what they call the pen. Right, now, to define what a pen is, I think it was Gatwick and Heathrow, they're like glass boxes. So it's a form of intimidation. They put you there if there's an issue. So they're kind of holding you. It's like a holding area. Now, some people have said, and I'm sure Danny said that he could have just got up, left and gone back to Spain. Not really, because people seem to have this illusion that once you land at an airport, if you're still airside, you're not in the United Kingdom. As soon as the wheels touch, in fact, in reality, as soon as the plane enters UK airspace, you're in UK territorial area. So you are under UK jurisdiction, even if you haven't landed. And if you're transiting over the United Kingdom and, for instance, you have a baby, the baby would be entitled to a UK citizenship because at the time of the baby being born, you were over UK territorial airspace. So people saying, oh, what is the pen? Once you're there, you are under UK jurisdiction. As soon as you've entered the airspace, you're under UK jurisdiction. And they hold you there if they're investigating stuff. Now, he's had this happen a fair few times. It's 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But of course, you're sat in a box that everybody knows is the holding cell. And they've made it glass because it's kind of intimidating. It's kind of embarrassing. It's all done on purpose. But he's been sort of adamant, and they've let him go. Now, going back to the Royal Marine, he went away on holiday. When he came back, 5 police officers were waiting for him, who detained him under the Terrorism Act 2000, I think it's called. I've been calling it the Counter-Terrorism Bill. It's not. It's the Terrorism Act 2000. Not arrested, detained. There is a difference. A very thin difference, but there is a difference. So Danny comes from Spain to England to visit his daughter and his dad, who's not very well. Watch the video, he'll explain it. But basically, he goes, does the same thing, and ends up being put in the pen. He thinks it's, you know, what happens to Paul. But then he's detained by counter-terrorism officers under the Terrorism Act 2000, which I've explained to you. I may have got the hours wrong. Apparently, it's only 8 hours, not 48 hours. But you can be held for 8 hours. You don't have the right of legal representation. You don't have the right of silence. You have to answer their questions. You have to hand over all your electronic items. You have to give them all your passcodes, because any of these ones, you will be charged. So instead of being detained, you will then be arrested. Okay? And then you will have all your fingerprints taken, DNA taken, photos taken. So basically what they're doing is they're running you through the process. And the whole idea of this process is to intimidate you. It's to put the fear of God in you, so you will do exactly what Danny has done, which is, I'm done. I'm not having any more to do with this. And to be fair, when you watch people, you read comments and you listen to other YouTubers and that, and what they're saying about it is, oh, you know, fell at the first order, this, that and the other. It's very easy for you to sit there and say that. But the simple truth of the matter is, if you are detained by the Counter-Terrorism Unit under the Terrorism Act 2000, that is the government going, don't get too clever. Don't think you're above the law. We're watching you now. And if you've got family and jobs and responsibility, all that now becomes at risk. Straight away. And I will challenge anyone to turn around and say, oh, well, I'd still do it. Because you wouldn't. Because that's the whole idea of it. The whole idea of it is to shut you up. And it's very effective. Because if you don't, they'll have the pressure on. You see, You didn't hear about this with any other government. They started talking about politics a bit like I did when the Conservatives were still in power. You never heard of the Terrorism Act 2000 being used to detain a Royal Marine because of what he said, to detain a journalist, Tommy Robinson, because of what he said, to detain Danny Salmon, who hasn't actually done anything really wrong. But what that was is, you see, they did Danny because they knew of the friendship between Paul and Danny, and that would ratchet up the pressure on Paul. Paul, because his friends had that happen to him and said, I'm not doing it, I'm taking a break. And I get that. And anyone who says they're weaklings, you need to go and have a really long, hard look in the mirror at yourself, because you do exactly the same. You see, you hear a lot of people who are, I do this, I do that, and loads of bluster. And that's all it is, just bluster. Because if you were put in the same situation, the vast majority, 99.99% of us, of you and I, even I, if I was arrested and had the counter-terrorism police questioning me over whatever I'm doing, that would be it. I'd be on my gaming channel and you wouldn't hear a peep out of me. Because that's your warning shot. They can do the pressure like they've been doing with Paul Thorpe and other people, where you keep getting pulled by the police. See, what they're doing is they're letting you know. And this is because of the Labour government. This is because of the socialist dictatorship that we live in. That they won't allow people to gain any sort of support for something that they don't agree with. So what does it mean for the rest of us? It means, I guess, that we're all being watched. And I believe it is your level of influence that dictates when they get in. Or if, as Silver Fox Hot Takes found out, if you say certain words that you shouldn't really say in a sentence, because that's going to get you in a world of shit. But I honestly believe that all of our channels are being watched, waiting for us to say the wrong thing, or just seeing how we are influencing people. You see, now I'm in a pretty good position, because although I've got a lot of subscribers, my videos don't really get that many views. And the thing is, that's absolutely fine. I have no issue with that at all. You know, I get 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 views. That's fine. But if I then started getting 3, 4, 5, 6,000 views, I think then I would really be on their radar. And people like Clown World, YouTube, Paz, Andy the Gabby Cabby, and many others, I think once you get to that level, especially if you get over 100,000 subs, you're on their radar. People are watching. And the whole idea of these intimidations, they know that these people are going to come out and say, this is what happened to me. And it has the effect it's intended to have, which is to scare you to shit, to shut us up. Will I stop doing what I'm doing? No. If I get arrested and the counter-terrorism police question me, you'll find that I'm on my gaming channel, and that'll be the end of that. Because you have to understand, there is a limit. And without huge backing and support, and one of those other things is lots of money, you aren't in a position to do anything. We're all small fry. And once you start to get a bit bigger, that's when it becomes a major problem. still worrying times, but watch the videos, listen to what's said. 2 videos coming up. One will be the last one I uploaded, the other one will be the one that the gods of YouTube with the mighty algorithm with a selected just for you. It's called the chosen one. If you agree with what I'm saying, just hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a penny. It's completely free. You can even ding a bell that gives you a notification. Although I've also had subscribers who have done that and then they don't get a notification, and then when they go, the bell's been turned off. So keep checking. Please like, please share, please attempt to make a comment in the comment section. There is no filter on my comment section whatsoever. So if your comment disappears, it isn't me. I don't delete anyone's comments unless, of course, you're just wanting to need to go and play with stickle bricks because you're a vile human being. There are ways to support the channel if you so desire. Well, you're a grifter. I'm not. It's there. I don't make a lot of money, but it does help with little things. Usually repairs and replacements of equipment. But they're there if you want. Links are down in the description. Not going to go over that. I mean, the one thing I will mention is the merchandising shop, which is I'm starting to slowly expand to cover other things, t-shirts and mugs. I like to do it just for shits and giggles, really, and it's there if you want to. So, with that, I'm done. So, until the next one.
It's an arrow at the bottom.